amazing presentation of Trigo. You did better than me anyway. And actually, you already done the most important thing of the day, and you already met the most important part of my company, which is our breakfast. This what is going to follow is not that interesting. I can So, brief presentation about who I am. I am Alessio, born in Naples in 1989. That's why I'm 35. Yeah. And I am an economist. I am a renewable energy entrepreneur since 2011. I'm living in Switzerland since 2017. And also when I arrived in Switzerland, since I am arrived in Switzerland, I'm also a food entrepreneur. I firstly, out of passion, founded Mangiobeo in 2017. Mangiobeo is an Italian brand who represents small Italian companies here in Switzerland. We have a shop in Flop. And then in 2021, I had the brilliant idea of taking over a bakery. I'm not a baker too. And we completely changed with an amazing team I had and I still have at the moment. And we changed all the recipe, we created Trigo, we opened another shop in 2022, and that's the story of the business. I'm gonna be more explicit after. So, when Sophie told me about coming here, I start to try to understand what I can say about my life, what I can share. So, and I start researching, okay, I have to talk about vision. My vision, the vision in general, I'm an economist, so I have the, let's say, the economics definition of vision, which is, something that you want to create in your business or in your life, and this is something that is going to follow you for the rest of the future. It's like putting a vision that, let's say, follow your company and yourself and the people in your company during the life of the company or during your life. And so this is the definition I had in my mind since my studies. But then I started to understand what I can say. Let's see what the others that do this kind of presentation talk about when they do these talks. I'm not very used to have this kind of talks. And I come to a conclusion. And the conclusion is this. So, listen, this is the first conclusion I come across, and the vision is a lie. And I am the first liar, because when this is the email from Sophie, who were actually telling me about the videographer told me that I cannot move from this the microphone direction. Yeah, exactly. So I have to stay here. So not to be awkward, but that's the thing. And so she told me back in March, look, Alessio, I want you to be a speaker. Which one you prefer of the thematic that we propose, and why do you think I picked the vision? Because it was in October, and I had a lot of time to actually prepare it. So I think that most of the people who does this pick this thematic because they are lazy. You know, so it's the last one. You have not
everyone has a choice like you did. But
okay, you must have told me this. I exclude this from the presentation. So joke apart, I literally try to understand what to say in these kind of things. What business world think about vision. What in general vision is as a more than the definition itself. And I did a research on internet, Google and ChatGPT, because honestly now you have it, so you have to use it. The pro. And I can separate what entrepreneurs or influencing people think about vision in two ways. The first idea I have is that it exists some kind of machine, I think, at some point that you put what vision is definition, and they come out with some kind of definition. And because most of them, 50-60% of what I found, they're all the same. Okay. And another idea that I got in myself is that there are some kind of secret workshop of entrepreneurs or influencing people who meet together. You have adjective, word-changing noun, and then you add for all, and you have done the vision. So I think this is kind of what is happening. So this is the general of what I found on internet. But then I say, okay, let's be more specific to actually target a bit more, and let's see what the people most influencing or most let's say wealthiest people in the world, the people who actually made it, think about vision. Okay. So, and I went in Forbes, take the first 10 people, I picked 4 or 5 of them, and I say, okay, let's show it. That's our friend Bill Gates, who say that in this way, he chooses lazy person to do another job, because a lazy person will find an easy way to do it. My vision is efficiency through laziness, work smarter, not harder, or preferably not at all. Okay, say okay, this division of has been for a lot of time the wealthiest guy in the world. So this obliged me to go to the following one, which is our friend Elon. Which Elon is the best picture I found right now. I couldn't find that.
It's appropriate.
Yeah, I know it's controversial, so that's why I found this one. And the guy say that speaking, thematic about laziness, which I started to, they say that they say necessity is the mother of invention, but I think it's actually laziness. My vision is to build self-driving cars so I can take a nap on the way to work. This is the wealthiest guy in the world. Larry Ellison, who is the co-founder of Oracle, he said that I had the vision to be the #1 software company in the world. Then I realized that Microsoft exists, so I set out to be the #1 and be #2. Very impressive, very interesting. And last but not least, my vision was to sell books online. Now we sell everything, including kitchen sink. Literally, I guess the vision kind of expanded. Must have been all that dream. I mean, this put me to the second conclusion of this research. Visionary people have no clue what they say when they do the speech. Actually, no clue. So let's say the only thing of what I can actually talk about, it's the way I see vision, or say the way I saw vision during my my life and my professional career. So I started to see, okay, I started to be an entrepreneur in 2011 when I finished my university, and also let's try to think what has been the biggest milestones of my career and what I thought in that moment about vision. Okay. So just a brief, I finished my university in Spain in 2011, and then I moved to Romania, in Bucharest, for completely other kind of I was not meant to be there for 5 years, just for 3 months, but I stayed there for 5 years. And there I created my first company, because I had this possibility of knowing this sector of renewable energy, and which I've been always passionate about, or sustainability, climate change related issues and stuff. And there it was a very interesting moment of the market, because they were giving incentive to build solar farms and stuff like that. So I created, I had no money, I was broken, and I had to find a way to be among the important people. So, because I wanted to create consulting services for this kind of job, being an economist, but I had also to have some kind of information from the one of the sites, let's say. So I decided I had to go to this kind of events where all the people talk, conference where people talk about renewable energy in general, but an average ticket costs 2,500 euros just for 3 days. I had no of this. So we decided to create the first renewable energy online magazine in Romania, a website, 300 euros. And at that time, there was no at all any renewable energy magazine that talked about renewable energy. So basically, I took an internship journalist, and we entered in this kind of events as a press. For free. So the internship girl was taking interviews and writing about that, and I was with another business card presenting myself as a consultant. Okay, so this is how my career in renewable energy started, and this is me in 2013 trying to convince Italian entrepreneurs about investing in Romania. And this is still me in 2013. trying in the television in Romania, trying to convince Romania to be more energy efficient. So all the people that I went to these places, they were asking, what is vision for you? And I was saying, lacking energy transition for all. Real vision was to figure out how to keep the lights on, like literally, and figure out. We were a startup, we had no money at all. So this is important to see that the perspective of when you are called to give a speech, when you are called to, and you have to give a nice answer, but when in reality actually is, you know? Then in 2015, one of our customers say, "We like you so much. I want you to develop projects also in other countries. Come with us in the UK." Okay, so I opened my office in London and in Scotland, and I also decided the brilliant idea not only to consult people on how to build this large-scale solar, but actually to build solar farms. So I hired in 3 months 120 people. This is my picture with me in the building site in Scotland, and this is the first solar farm in Scotland which is actually built by our team in 2015. And so, what was the public vision at that time? Unlocking solar energy potential in Scotland, which there is not a lot, there is more wind, okay? But it is. This farm is actually there, Pressock Farm, if you want to visit online. It's up in Dundee, okay? And I burned out and I came to Switzerland because my dad was already living here. And I say, I need a bit of, so usually people when they take a burnout or this kind of sabbatical, they travel, but because I travel for work, I stop, you know? So what is the best place where you can stop and chill in Europe? I think you guys have noted that is Switzerland. You have the mountain, you have the lake, you have the, I see some not very, I would be happy to understand why, maybe now or after.
The view.
Sorry?
The view.
The view?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I've been very optimistic. I had some money aside, let's say, when I first arrived, yeah, I had some money aside. So, so when I came to Switzerland, the idea was really to chill. I was based in London at that time. My dad was living in Aigle, so we had two different ideas of chilling, let's say. So I say, at least Lausanne. So I picked Lausanne. I went in this, I found a flat together with other people sharing in Avenue de France. And yeah. And it's where I was working in the street. I don't know how many of you know Avenue de France. So I was living where Atelier is. And I was working in the street. And at some point I arrived to the end of the street and there was a little shop, very tiny, this one. And it was already a food shop. They were mostly selling oranges because the guy was Sicilian, so he did I don't know, oranges and stuff. So I entered in this place. I was in my burnout, so I was still figuring out what I have to do with my life. I took 1 year sabbatical from the company. My business partners in Romania kept managing it. The UK we had to shut down because of the Brexit. So I was working and actually entering the shop to buy oranges. And I talked with this guy. The guy say, look, I entered for 5 minutes, buy orange and go out. The experience was 1 year and a half, 1 hour and a half. Talking with this guy about all the problems he had with the wife because he couldn't manage anymore, he had another job. Say, I want to sell it. I want to sell the business. At that time, I don't know what must have been in my mind. I always had this passion of doing sometimes in my life something with food. My dad was actually working with food in Martigny, Valais area. So I said, it could be a good idea. I put some of my dad products here. He can also open this Lausanne market, let's say. While I'm here, I can come here, work a bit with the laptop. In the meantime, sell some Italian pasta. So the day after I went there and they say, okay, take it. Like this, exactly like this. He couldn't come here, otherwise I would have asked him to say the true story. So, and basically the first 6 months were me with a table, a bunch of Italian products all around, me working with the laptop, people passing. I had no clue of French, I didn't speak any word of French. So people was entering this place and asking me, okay, guy, what are you doing here? and I tried to speak with all the languages I knew, less than French, and trying to explain how. Then I saw that this strategy didn't go, so I started to literally give coffee as a gift to all the people who was passing in France. So this is the way how Mangia Bevo started. And basically customers there was trying to say, look, here, 25 years ago we had an Italian deli, why you don't open a proper Italian deli? And I say, you know what, you're right. So I closed in 2018 for 2-3 months. I took all the authorization to actually serve food and cut and stuff. And in May 2018, this is the picture of me working in 2017 in the shop with a bunch of products there, and the email address of energy related stuff. And this is me 2018 creating the brand and put the thing. So what was my public vision at that point? I said, okay, I bring the most authentic Napolitan tradition to the Alps. But then I discovered the Lausanne, and surprisingly, because I thought always Switzerland as a country already with some link with Italy, so with a lot of products there, but I actually didn't find. So I say, food is too expensive, I need my food here, so I can pay good price for the food I want to eat, okay? Okay, then, 2020, COVID came near, I don't know how many of you know as Avenue de France, close to the shop. It was a bakery since 50 years. 50 years there has been always a bakery. It was run in the previous 20 years from a Portuguese guy, who the guy had no, he didn't want to continue, but he just went ahead out of, let's say, he's used to do what is the only thing he wanted to do, but he didn't want to do it at all. So he talked to me 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. At some point, I say, Alessio, I must say I want to sell. Do you know someone who is interested?
I see a pattern.
Yeah. That's my coach always say this. Yeah. We leave our patterns. That's exactly what it is. What happens is that we were end of 2020. Mangia Bevo shop was literally banging, I must say, because all the restaurants were closed during the COVID. So we ran also an e-commerce during the COVID with Mangia Bevo. We were delivering food all around Lausanne and all around the canton. So our turnover was 5x or 6x what we used to do before. I was in a very dynamic and very enthusiastic moment. Let's say, okay, when COVID came, okay, I had the Brexit, this kicked me a lot, but now I'm not gonna let COVID kick me also. I'm gonna push it, you know? So I say, okay, because I made this money, I don't need money I pay already my bills, because I was already doing still doing some consultancy job on the side for my energy sector, so I paid my bill with that. And say, all the money that we made during COVID, let's buy this bakery. Firstly, with the idea of making Mangia Bevo bigger. And then what happened was the same customers that were telling me to open Mangia Bevo because there is not, they were saying, please, don't remove the bakery from here because it's the only thing that we have in the neighborhood. So please, if you take this place over, make a bakery. Okay, you're right. You have to always listen to customers, isn't it? So I say, okay, I have to figure out in 2 months, because this guy wanna sell, how to take a bakery, hire bakers, try to understand what's up, and make something workable. So I finally say to him yes in March 2020. I finalized the full buyout in March 2021, and in April 2021 we started with our management inside, and I kept the old guy working with me for I said, okay, the first 3, 4, 6, 7, 8 months. Oh, you can stay. We work together. We try to make it. 20 days. 20 days. He left me completely because he thought that he was still the owner. So I went there and I said, didn't work out. So basically, after 25 days of both buying this, I remained completely without a baker. So I had shut down the place, and I had 1 month to figure out where to take a baker, what kind of products to do, what is the image, where is the strategy, what we have to do, basically. And so we reopened in June. So I did a research, and the idea was to bring something different. As I say, build the most contemporary bakery in Lausanne, which was not a very difficult job because most of the classic, sorry if I say I don't know how many Swiss people is in here, but most of the Swiss, okay. There is a lot of very classical, but doesn't mean that they're not good. I mean, say classical. And because with my job I've been traveling a lot, so the thing I've seen a lot of different kind of bakery and what this bakery concept for Nordic countries or other countries rather than what is in Switzerland. So I say, let's do this project with a different kick. Let's not be always we are the Italians, so we have to do like Italians. Let's change a bit the thing. So let's say that the public vision in this case and the real vision are quite the same, just different adjectives. And so this is me in May 20. So sorry, this is I was 2021. It's me in May 2021, having Teams lessons of how to make pizzas from a guy from Naples. So he was in team. I'm looking at the laptop there, and he's actually teaching me how to do those. Okay, and in end of May he also came here, and he gave us all the recipes about the bread part. And then I was lucky enough to meet Fabiana au Four Lausanne. I don't know if you all know, which is also the person who told me about CreativeMornings. And we just loved each other, and she was the one who gave us the base of all the recipes that we're actually eating now. So the cinnamon rolls, all the things. We worked on the recipes together. We did days, nights, and stuff, and we built what Trigo is now. So the base has been given. I mean, if I must recognize it, even if she's not working with me anymore for her other things in life, but this is the base. So long story short, after 6 months, Gomio come and say that we are top 3 bakery in Lausanne after 6 months of opening. So obviously this gave us a lot of,
publicity.
Exactly, publicity. Sorry, thank you very much. I owe you a synagogue. And that's how Trigo starts. And then obviously, being an economist, I understood very quick that with the same production that you do for one shop, you can do also for 2 shops, because the machine, when you do the dough, you can do for 1 or 2, doesn't change the time, no? And all other consideration that an economist do with Excel stuff, talking with the bakers, with a macro Excel and whatever, demonstrating them that the time was the same, because I want to pay the same salary, but you have to produce for 2 shops. And long story short, I opened another shop in May 2022, and now we have these 3 nice shops, 1 in Florence with Mangiobebe, 2 with Trigo. We have 25 employees. We make this possible every day. It's not me. I did my bit, and that's where Trigo is. So, after all this research and all this definition of what, for me, has been vision in my life and what it actually is, out of all these big tech guys, I found this guy statement quite very interesting. Obviously, this is not a statement about vision, but it's more in general about entrepreneurship. And he said that an entrepreneur is someone who jumps off a cliff and builds a plane on the way down. And this I think that is the point here today, and in general for vision. And nowadays, it is very, very, very difficult to actually install in a culture of a company or in your life a vision, because vision before it was easier, because changes have had not a lot of rapidity. We are talking about, I made the example before, ChatGPT. 2 years ago, this was just a tech freak, for people that just knew about tech. From a way or another, I read a lot, so I knew already that it's going to come, but 95% of people, no. So imagine how this is going to change the economics and also the companies, the culture, everything that is now. So it's very difficult for entrepreneurs saying, I have this vision, I want to make this to happen, because this can change very fast. So I found this definition very interesting because it goes to the point of it, you know. And so because I presented you all this kind of nice picture with a quote, I also wanted mine. This is the nicest picture I have in the last 4 or 5 years. Sorry, it's awful, but you know, it's more colored. It's not like, and in my opinion, the vision it's like just starting the journey is visionary enough, in my opinion. So you have to start from something. If you really have this in yourself of creating something, or you have an idea of a dream, let's say, in your life, or not only your business, at some point the most visionary thing that you can do is you have to start doing it because it's the most that you can do. How you do it? I can tell how I did it, and then see after maybe it is something that you find identified in. So, first, talk a lot. Go in this kind of conference like today, share ideas, talk with the people. Also, the vision is something that you build during the path. You know, well, we have the Red Hoffman, let's say, kind of point of view that is bottom down. But let's say, when you have decided to actually start something, whatever it is, you have to start talking to this without no idea of share some confidential, because in this world there is nothing that you are inventing. There exists everything. So I know sometimes that people that is creating something, they have fear, I cannot tell you this because you're gonna copy and patent it. This is not existing anymore nowadays. With ChatGPT you can do whatever you want. No, also cook a couple of programs. I'm actually looking forward to see bakers that no, I'm not gonna do it, but I'm sure that at some point we're gonna come. So the first thing that you have to do is talk about your vision, idea, or whatever you want to call it, with the most number of person possible, and be let's say, judging yourself, if I can say, to understand the most negative, the most positive, the most neutral, and trying to do a matrix of it, a mix of it, and come out with your own thing. Second, you have to surround yourself with people more skilled than you, and this is point. And this is the point, this is the key. You can have the best vision you want, you can design it, you can put, can give it a name, whatever. If you are you with yourself, you are not going to do it. And if you are you with people which has less skill than you, skill doesn't mean necessarily with degrees or something. Also, have the power of doing this, accept the limits sometimes, or people that is actually ready to come out from the comfort zone. This also for me is a skill. It's a soft skill, but it's a skill, you know, which sometimes is more important than an actual skill, an actual degree, you know. Be patient, but not too much. Be patient because there are things that you cannot change. These things, there are things that you cannot control. So for that specific thing, you have to be patient. But you don't have to be too much patient because opportunities, life doesn't come alone. You have to go and look for them. You have to go and make that happen. So, and when you see that some other people, some other situation is taking too long to realize, you have to go for it. So patient, but up to a certain point. This is big curious to the point of being unbearable. I'm in my group of friends when we go and travel. Just to give them, we went to Colombia to visit a coffee producer. With my friends, it was our 30 years travel, and there is always the joke because when we went to the guy was actually a farmer, and he was picking but he spoke good English, and he was picking the cafe, so he was speaking us about coffee making and stuff. I was literally making it all the kind of weird questions that he couldn't even imagine. So how many of you for this, and how many kilos for person, and how many this and this, and like that. My friends said, okay, because I was actually doing reverse engineering to understand how much 1 kilo of coffee is sold in Europe, and how much 1 kilo of coffee it's in Colombia. And I'm not gonna tell the outcome of this because But just to understand, you have to have that kind of curiosity that a baby has. Ask why, no matter what. Why this? Why that? Why this? Why that? Don't be ashamed of this, because at the end of the day, people, if they want to answer, they answer. If they don't want to answer, take to the other. And then the last two, which nothing is given for granted. Nothing is given like our friend Bill Gates say that you don't have to work at all. This in my opinion, it's a wrong way of inspire young generations. You cannot give this message to you. You cannot. You can be among the first 10 people richest in the world without working. This is absolutely not. And this is this kind of Silicon Valley kind of idea that people share. There is no, and them they know very well because they have not been gifted with nothing. So you have to work hard, and you have to work hard because only hard is not enough. Thank you very much. Inspiring morning for all, and the real vision is feedback for all, and Trigo is contributing to it. So, thank you very much. Thank you for. I don't know if you have any question. Hopefully not. You are the ones that always do questions. That's why you are always first. Okay.
So, taking from your last point of working harder and it's not enough, as someone who experienced burnout, how are you managing that going forward so that that doesn't repeat?
Burnout is also another project of your life, in my opinion. You have to take it as a project. You have to take it as okay, I come in it. I have to come out. I don't want to be, let's say, superficial in this because there are different types of burnout. There are different way of approaching it, and there are different personality. So I'm talking about my experience. My mindset is always take what happens in life, positive or negative, trying to see the most positive in the negative. Okay, so I approached it as a startup, and it's a path. You have to come out from it. You have to understand what causes it. This is the first important. So also. So I go. If you approach this as a startup, also the burnout, and read the game, talk to people who have had the same issue, trying to understand what has been their way of dealing with that, why they are there, why not to have the same errors. I'm not saying that I'm not going to do the same errors again. I'm most probably going to do, and I possibly am going to do. But it's a learning path, in my opinion. Also, this. Let's say, kind of burnout. I think the burnout is partly created from this capitalism, this way of today of wanting to always more and more and more and more. So this is mostly what creates burnout. And Mangiobeo helped me a lot to come out from burnout. Why? Because in my previous job, the average person I was used to talk was a person with more than 1 million in the bank account. Okay, the average. When I opened Mangiobeo and I was the guy working in the shop, the average person was in Italy we have a say of defining this Signora Maria, like Lady Mary. It's to define the average person in a country or whatever. And so imagine completely change the way you are used to talk, to actually adapt yourself to talk with a person which has a normal life in a normal environment where he actually come into a shop to buy bread. So talk to normal people. Also, this is very important because these normal people remind you the reality. All this, can I say, bullshit of the. You didn't answer on time. So yeah, you can. All these things that obviously is created by this wanting to be more and more is something that is there because someone created, and most of them because these people is invited to this kind of speech to tell out to the world, stay foolish, stay angry, whatever, But at the end of the day, real life is what matters. experts. And the Maggiobebo, in my case, helped me a lot because I restarted to talk to normal people and trying to understand again. And actually, people sleep, wake up in the morning, go to work, then go to buy a piece of bread, go to buy some cheese. You know. So if I can give a suggestion, is don't never lose this kind of attachment to the reality, to the things, to the basic, you know, and this can help to come out. Then there are many reasons on why someone can burn out. There is also personal reason. There's also, you know, the other extreme, people who does a very monotone life, and they want to do more. So this is the other side. Go and network with people who does other things. Surround yourself with people who actually have come out from that and can give you something. So I don't know if the definition of approaching it as a startup was enough for you, but it's kind of what happened to me. You know?
Thank you.
Yeah. Stop.
Other questions? Sorry.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Super nice. And I'm not being a climate activist, but I'm studying sustainability. So I'm just wondering, how do you integrate sustainability in your business?
Yeah.
I don't know, energy efficiency or recycling of products or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So, how much time do we have?
We're running a little late, but if anyone, by the way, needs to run, or I know we're running a little late, feel free to, go forward, whatever you
I'm gonna
need.
try
No
to
worries,
be
not
very-
disrupting, but
very
otherwise,
quick.
just go ahead, yeah, go ahead.
First of all, I'm still working in renewable energy. Maybe I didn't tell because I don't think it's relevant for today, but I have 3 teams in 3 different countries who are developing renewable energy scale projects, solar and battery energy storage solutions. But this is another story. So I'm still keeping and working on this. In my companies, in Maggiobebo, because I was in that burnout, let's say, kind of phase, I didn't think too much of sustainability because products are actually produced in Naples and they come here by. I try to find the most sustainable way of actually having them here, and also I know each name of each producer, and I know how they produce, and I know that some of them you are customers of Maggiobebo, so products are really local from there, you know,
Okay.
at least this. And that's why Maggiobebo is not going to be a chain, because I don't want this to escalate in a more consuming CO2, transporting whatever. It's going to be very local from there, and shop in Lausanne. We're going to extend more probably in the region and not much more. Trigo, there are many. With 90% of we are not a bio bakery, but 90% of our products are bio and local, of the raw materials that we use. We work with Moulin des Chandons for all the flour and whatever. Maybe we don't communicate it enough, this is true, but because there is also a marketing reason, and now everything is bio, and the consumers are completely disoriented. It's a greenwashing, I call it. So we're trying to be more cool. No, more like 2 coolest products and be more cool in our way of communicate, because you first buy with the eyes, no? And second, you know that there is this shop in Lausanne where you can, we are on Too Good To Go, but this is the average. And then there is this shop in Lausanne who sell bread from the day before. So they come talk to me and they ask, and they say, okay, we take your bread, we give you nothing. And we sell in the shop at half of the price. Good business model. I'm gonna do it. So in my shop, if you come, you can buy pan de la veille at half of the price. Because and this is an evolution of what I was saying between classical bakeries and classic bakers, and what you can give as an entrepreneur. A baker will never put the bread of the day before on sale because it's not an element of freshness or whatever. How we are doing, and it's actually going very well. We reduced a lot of waste. We recover money, you know, because we sell half of the price, which is the same price they will sell in their shop without paying us. So and obviously energy efficiency, you cannot do too much in Lausanne because bâtiment protégé, la ville, blah blah blah. You know everyone. It's the part of boring side of Switzerland. But with our investment and stuff, we try to, we change our oven. Our oven, when I bought the bakery, it was from 1972. the first oven we had, and we recently changed with a more newer one because as an economist I put this on an Excel and I say with what I save in energy I repay it in 9 months, and it has been like that. So yeah.
Thank you.
Conspire is a great co-working space.
Yeah, hi,
You're good?
everyone.
Yeah.
It's very nice to see you so many. So I mean, for everyone that the first time it's here, welcome. For the others, welcome as well. We are a co-working space. We opened 5 years ago. We are very happy to host events such as Creative Morning. We are a co-working space that is really centered on community and on small scale businesses. So we have teams of 1 to 4 people here. We still have space. We have great coffee, you can see. Yeah, you're welcome to come anytime. Sorry. Anyway, as well. But yeah, enjoy the Creative Morning event.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. And they're the co-working space that has, I feel like, not many have specialty coffees, so this is a great space if you're a coffee person. And there's also day passes, half-day passes if you want to check it out. And then Alessio told me to present this part,
So I see
no
how to
pressure.
present when I'm not here.
But thank you so much also to Trigo, who has been one of our consistent breakfast sponsors. They're an innovative bakehouse in Lausanne, and they're located in Sugar next to Sefas, if you know where that is. Alessio will talk more about what he's also the founder of, but Maggio Beppo is another chain, another also linked branch, partner, sister, brother of Trigo. But Trigo has amazing cinnamon buns, baked goods. If you want a quick bite at lunch, they have really innovative and creative food. That one's a croissant, so it's like a croissant muffin. So really happy that they gave us an amazing spread this morning. So I hope you all get a chance to try it.